Across the country today, demonstrators took to the streets, part of a movement billed as 50 protests in 50 cities on one day. Among their grievances, the president's crackdown on illegal immigration. On that last note, tonight we have a new report showing how that can impact legal migrants with visas who keep America's farms running. CNN's David Culver reports.
Calling out to us from the back of the bus, Juan Manuel Cisneros shows us what he describes as his American dream come true.
Pues aquí está, que estoy legalmente aquí en este país.
I said, do you always carry that document with you? And he goes, yeah, because if anything happens, he can pull it out and say, I'm here legally in this country. Everyone on this bus can say the same. They're farm workers here on H-2A visas, which allow foreign workers to fill temporary or seasonal agricultural jobs. They come here for about 8 months. All the folks on this bus who are on their lunch break are from Mexico. He says they're able to work the field, and as he sees it, it's a good solution to be able to make money and yet at the same time be here legally. But with that visa comes grueling work.
Nobody local wants to work in agriculture harvesting crop. Nobody. These are hardworking, able-bodied men, and that's what they're doing. They're doing manual labor.
And they're doing it in a place that might surprise you.
That's east.
Yeah.
If I go far enough, I'll hit Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, you will.
You need only travel about 40 miles from here, as Roth Farms sits just on the western edge of Palm Beach County, Florida.
Certainly doesn't feel like the beaches of Palm Beach.
But it has the weather.
Which can be brutally hot and humid for those working these fields. Yet despite his need for a reliable and cost-efficient workforce, Roth says he supports President Trump's stance on immigration. Is it going to get more difficult to get workers, you think, under President Trump and the crackdown on immigration?
No, I think it actually will get easier. We just want people to be vetted, and we want good workers that are come out here.
So the H-2A visa program may seem like a perfect solution to keep predominantly migrant workers employed on farms like this one here in Florida. But critics point out that it doesn't cover every person or every situation. Say, for example, those migrants who are fleeing violent and dangerous situations and don't have a home to go back to once the season's over. Or those who simply want to live and work with their families year-round in the U.S. And then you've got small farmers who say that the program is just way too costly and way too complicated. For now, though, Roth sees H-2A visas as the best way to keep U.S. farms running. He hires a third-party company to handle the logistics. They recruit the workers from abroad and then place them at several different farms, including Roth's.
You hire them in Mexico, and you transport them over here. You pay all the transportation
You're
costs.
paying for that.
I pay all the transportation costs. We put them up in housing. We pay all the housing costs. The only thing we're allowed to charge them for is the cost of the food when we feed them.
So what is it like for these workers?
So here it is about 5 o'clock in the evening, and these workers have just finished their shift at Roth Farms. They're arriving back at their housing complex. Juan Manuel and the others invite us to meet them after their workday is over. ¿Cómo está?
Bien, bien.
Yeah? What do you do this time of the day? Yeah, when you get here from work.
Comedor a las 6 de la tarde, llegamos a comer.
Dinner's at 6?
Sí.
We can go with him. He's inviting us up. Well, muchas camas aquí, no? They've been working 10 hours today. They work 6, sometimes 7 days a week. They have just a few things that they need, a few changes of clothes, some snacks, and not much privacy. Juan Manuel shows us his setup. Nada de la familia.
No traje nada.
He says what he makes is about $16 an hour. So here what you make in an hour, as he puts it, is an entire day's work in Mexico. This is his 3rd year on the visa work program. He said the money that he makes here, he's able to support his family in Mexico as well and help his mom and dad and brother and sister.
Para poder sobrevivir.
And he said that's what you need to do to survive. You can see all the workers now are gathering from all the different buildings. Most of them all work at different sites, but they come together to eat and then sleep. And then they will be back at it on the fields in about 10, 11 hours from now.
David, the farmers you talked to, do they believe that President Trump would support expanding this program, especially given his belief that foreign workers are taking American jobs?
The farmers that we spoke with, as they support President Trump, they also believe that he has to move forward with this, Anderson. They say, really, you look at the food supply in this country, and it is reliant on these workers. The visa program, though, has its limitations. They say under the Department of Labor, it is just really cumbersome, really complicated, and they say it's got to be made cheaper, particularly when you think about those smaller farmers.
David Culver, appreciate the report. Thank you.